We on? Hello? Got me? Okay. Hello, my name is Gennaro Cantu. I marched with the Knights from 1984 through 1987. I was on staff in 1988 and 89, and I was the caption head and the arranger in 1989 as well. Beginning in 1985 and for most of the next decade, the Knight chose various styles of rock and roll music for their summer programs. In 1989, we picked music from the English progressive rock band Yes. So for our first selection tonight, we're going to be playing our opener from 1989, Roundabout.
Starting in 1985, finishing in 1990. My family combined for about 27 seasons marching with the Knights. In 1988, the Corps made the decision to move from Geneseo a little bit west into the Quad Cities for good reason. Also in 1988, as Gennaro mentioned, we continued our path as DCI's rock and roll drum corps and played the music of Chicago. Our closer that year was 25 or 64, a big hit for the band. And we're going to play that for you now.
In 1985 and 1986. And 1986 was an interesting year because we were the first corps that used electronics on the field. We were penalized for it, and eventually we were told that we would be disqualified if we continued playing the electronics. One of the songs that didn't have electronics was Chasing Shadows. It's a song by Kansas, a rock group from the 1970s. And this song is very inspirational to me as a Knight because it really taught me how to play formula technique. Before that, I didn't know much of anything. So here's Chasing Shadows.
Cole Heisler. I marched with the Corps 82, 83, and 84.
And I'm Tom Kunman. I marched in 1983 and 84.
1983 was considered one of the most successful years of the Corps. We placed third at Drum Corps Midwest. We also placed ninth at Whitewater Prelims, and every DCI Corps was there. We had a great selection of music, including classical, jazz, and rock. And we're going to play a little intro from a song called Ruslan and Ludmilla with our classical opener.
And you can't really talk about the 83 season without a shout out to the great horn line and color guard that was featured in a great jazz piece called Whiplash. You guys remember Whiplash? Yeah! And of course, our awesome closer was almost like a song by Ronnie Millsap. I think a real tearjerker was voted the closer of the year, probably the greatest closer ever. And I'd also like to mention we're also going to play Dinner Music of the Gods, which was our percussion feature that year, which is a Ramiro Martinez classic we arranged for us. So this is for Ramiro.
Hi, my name is Bob Blomberg. I marched with the Knights from 1979 to 1983. And in 1982, we still carried the keyboard instruments with us, much as the drum line carries their drums. They weren't quite as large as the ones we're performing on today, or we wouldn't be here. But they got the job done. And that year, in June, it was decided that we would play the Corps off the field after shows. So Romero brought this next piece to us from Frank Zappa's Joe's Garage #1 album called The Central Scrutinizer. And we played this every time the Corps left the field to troop the stands in front of all of our screaming fans. So we would actually like to dedicate this to our friend Mark Claro. Mark marched the 1982 and 83 Mallet line and passed away in 1991. And he would say, hard-working, gentle, steadfast knight. And so we're playing this in his honor. Without further ado, Central Scrutinizer, played by the Mallets.
82 found us placing 15th in finals, which was the highest place the corps ever did. For our next drum solo was featured in 1982, which would be Night Streets. Woo!
Hi, everybody. My name is John Morrell.
I love you, Johnny!
Started in '73, age 11, playing cymbals. I finished in '87 after 5 years on staff. We talked a lot about the '80s. People seem to forget we were pretty darn good in the '60s and '70s. You think so, right? '74 was the year we changed. We went from being the Kewanee Nights to the Geneseo Nights. '75 was the year we placed 5th in the nation at the, American Legion that year. Fast forward to '79, we placed 5th again in the nation. That was DCI's Class A. 1980, the Corps placed 2nd Class A DCI. That set up the move back to open class, to be with the big boys again. '81, we were very successful. We placed 19th. That started off an 8-year run in the '80s of placing in DCI's top 25. The song we're about to play for you is from that '81 season. It's called Percolations. Before I step back, I am going to give a shout out to two guys I think we should give a shout out to. We don't think of them much when we think of drum lines, but we should. First one's no longer with us. His name's Ken Hamilton. May he rest in peace. And the other guy is Bill Nyler. We wouldn't have a Nights if it weren't for those two guys and the hard work and the dedication they gave to us for all these years. Percolations.
My name is Chris Cinnamon. I marched in the Corps from 1969 to 1974. And there was a big move. We talked a lot about major changes in the Corps, movement to different locations, but in 1972, we became the Kewanee Knights. Up to that point, we'd been the Kewanee Black Knights. There was another corps in existence at that time called the Belleville Black Knights, and we felt there was some identity issues between the two of us, and we wanted to have our own identity. The other thing we did was we adopted a really costuming. We went with the whole entire Knights theme, a cross and a very different uniform, and we adopted that Knights of the Round Table. So right now we're going to do for you from Camelot, Joust.
Hello, my name is Rich Nicola. 1965, I got to see the Knights and the Black Knights in their first competition at the Illinois State Fair. They did make finals, but they did not prepare to make finals, and they only had a short prelim show. That night, I signed up to become a Black Knight. So the next year, and for the next 4 or 5 years, I was a marching member. I was a snare drummer for the Knights, the Black Knights. Yeah. Okay. Then I became instructor for a couple of years. Okay. Now, 1972, history here is that the Knights, the Black Knights at that point, or the Knights, its first year of 1972, they made the top 12 at DCI for the first competition in prelims. They did not make finals, but they made prelims and they made the top 11, which is a fate all by itself. An accomplishment that was well deserved and well blessed. Today, we've lost a few of our members in the drum line. I'm not going to mention names, but we all know who they are. And the drum line and the drum competition, the drum solo was written in memory of them. I'd like to include a lot of those guys here from a spiritual standpoint, so that they understand that they're here with us. And without them, we don't make it. Okay. Okay. One last thing, students. Remember to keep playing. If I can do it in my 60s, you can do it for the rest of your life as well. Do it well, do it blessed, and do it every day. Don't give up. We have an accomplishment of all of these percussionists in front of us and back of us that have done this for over 30 years. We love it, we love the activity, we love being with the chorus, and we bless everyone that's here, and thank you very much for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aurora Martinez.
Okay, how about another hand for the Knights? this thing has just been over 2 months in developing to what we're at here now. I mean, we have guys we have Jennifer on bass who's flown in from Florida twice to meet you. We have Paul over here from the state of Oregon, not Oregon, Illinois, down the road. Two weeks today. Glenn's from Minneapolis, on cymbals back here. I think the majority of the line had to travel some kind of distance to get to all the camps that we had. There's maybe 2 or 3 people that live locally in Geneseo, but everyone came together, and every time we had a camp, it snowed, just like yesterday. But I just want to thank everyone for making Percussion Palooza 2014, our first one. I think it was a success. There was a lot of great performances today. Awesome night tonight. Thank you for everyone for coming tonight. All right?